What if the line between myth and technology was far blurrier in the ancient world than we ever imagined? Tonight, Echoes of Time invites you to journey into the very heart of Europe to uncover the profound and often chilling origins of one of history's most enduring enigmas, the Golem. More than just a tale from Jewish folklore, this legend of a magically animated clay figure speaks to humanity's age-old fascination with creation, control, and the very concept of artificial life. For centuries, this silent, watchful construct has captivated minds, shaping religious thought, inspiring popular culture, and standing as a testament to stories that never quite made it into the mainstream history books. It's an entity born from the deepest desires and fears of humanity, a creature of legend whose presence reverberates through the forgotten pages of time, echoing an unending quest to breathe life into the inanimate. This is a journey to unmask the true origins of Europe's ancient magical automata, venturing beyond simple parables and into the realms where magic and engineering might have intertwined, revealing secrets that lie under the dust of centuries. The traditional narrative often confines the golem to the mystical teachings of the Kabbalah, detailing esoteric methods for infusing inanimate matter with life. We hear the famous narrative surrounding Rabbi Loew of Prague, a revered figure said to have created a golem to protect his persecuted community, a silent guardian brought forth from the earth itself, animated by arcane words and intentions. These stories, rich in symbolism and spiritual depth, have become the bedrock of our understanding, passed down through generations. They paint a vivid picture of a world where faith and profound wisdom could literally sculpt life from the inert, a world where humanity could, in a limited sense, replicate the divine act of creation. But what if these tales, compelling as they are merely the most recent layers of a much older, deeper narrative? What if the golem's roots stretch even further, touching upon a forgotten lineage of ancient automata, mechanical marvels, and proto-robots crafted in civilizations far removed from medieval Prague, offering a different lens through which to perceive these ancient wonders? This is where the true unmasking begins. We must look beyond the familiar and delve into the dusty archives of antiquity, to places like Egypt and Greece, and indeed far beyond. Imagine a world where the self-moving statues of ancient temples were not simply inert idols, but objects of awe, appearing to possess an inner life, shifting and gesturing in response to unseen forces. Consider the intricate devices described by figures like Heron of Alexandria, an engineer and mathematician whose works, dating back to the 1st century AD, detail everything from automated temple doors and hydraulic organs to steam-powered engines and programmable mechanisms that could perform complex sequences of actions. Were these early engineering feats, these ingenious clockwork novelties, just that, mere technological curiosities for amusement or practical application? Or did they inspire whispers of true magical animation, sowing the seeds for legends of animated figures long before the golem walked the cobblestones of Prague? The distinction between a mechanism designed to imitate life and a creature perceived to be imbued with life itself becomes perilously thin in such a context, challenging our modern understanding of ancient capabilities and forcing us to question the line between what was perceived as supernatural and what was simply highly advanced technology for its time. This blurring of lines between myth and machine, between magic and engineering, leads us to compelling hypotheses that challenge conventional understanding. Could the golem, in its multifaceted forms and historical reverberations, represent humanity's earliest attempts at what we now call artificial intelligence? Was it a primitive yet profoundly sophisticated philosophical exploration of conscious creation, a contemplation of what it means to give birth to a being outside the natural order, one that might serve, protect, or even turn upon its creator? The very act of crafting a figure and attempting to imbue it with purpose speaks volumes about our innate desire to extend our own creative powers, to transcend the limitations of the natural world, a drive that continues to fuel innovation even today. Beyond the purely technological or philosophical, the Golem narrative also resonates as a powerful symbolic story for the resilience of persecuted communities. In times of dire threat, the creation of a protector, a silent, unwavering force brought forth to defend the innocent, speaks to a deeply human need for hope, agency, and survival against overwhelming odds. The golem becomes a potent symbol of strength and defiance, an embodiment of communal will against adversity, transforming raw earth into a bulwark against injustice. These legends, therefore, might not be solely about mystical forces or ancient machines, but about the human spirit's ability to conjure solutions, whether tangible or metaphorical, in the face of despair, making the golem an icon of perseverance through the ages. The question then becomes, how did these legends come to be, and what truly gave them their enduring power? Were they born from a literal belief in mystical forces? A genuine understanding that rituals and esoteric knowledge could infuse inanimate matter with life? A belief in the potent power of Kabbalistic incantations? Or were they perhaps a grand misinterpretation of advanced ancient technologies, where complex mechanical contraptions, far beyond the comprehension of the general populace, were perceived as imbued with magic due to their mysterious operation? Or is it far more likely a potent blend of both, where the marvel of early engineering fueled the imagination, giving rise to mystical explanations for what could not be scientifically understood, thereby creating enduring legends that reflect humanity's eternal desire to transcend natural limits? This intricate interplay between the practical and the poetic, the mechanical and the magical, is the very essence of many historical enigmas. For centuries, scholars and mystics have grappled with the golem, often confining it to the realm of simple parable or a cautionary tale, dismissing its implications as mere folklore. But in the spirit of Echoes of Time, we seek to reveal the secrets that lie under the dust of centuries, to look beyond the surface and challenge these convenient explanations. The journey to unmask the true origins of these magical automata demands a rigorous examination, sifting through layers of myth that have accumulated over millennia, poring over historical records for tantalizing clues, and reevaluating forgotten scientific endeavors that might have been dismissed as insignificant or fantastical. It is a delving into the past to better understand the present, acknowledging that ancient peoples were far from primitive in their ingenuity and philosophical depth. This re-examination is not about debunking or proving definitively, but about understanding the multifaceted nature of human ingenuity and belief. It's about recognizing that the magic of the ancient world might simply have been a term for technology that was far ahead of its time, or knowledge that has been lost to us. When we look at the Kabbalistic texts, for instance, we are not just reading spiritual treatises. We are exploring ancient methodologies, symbolic instructions that, through a different lens, might speak to a sophisticated understanding of material manipulation or even proto-chemical processes. When we study the accounts of Heron of Alexandria, we are not just admiring ingenious clockwork. We are witnessing the birth of robotics, the first stirrings of artificial intelligence, designed not to replicate life exactly, but to mimic its functions in startlingly convincing ways. The precise instructions for constructing certain devices echo the precise rituals for animating a golem, suggesting a shared human drive for controlled creation. The challenge lies in deciphering what truly constitutes magical animation in these contexts. Was it the breath of life given by a divine or mystical force, as described in religious texts and legends? Or was it the intricate dance of gears, levers, and counterweights, so perfectly orchestrated that it appeared to possess an independent will, mimicking life so convincingly that it blurred the lines of reality? The very act of creation, of shaping inert matter into something that moves and acts, has always held a profound mystique, a power that could easily be interpreted as divine intervention or sorcery. Therefore, the scholarly attempt to understand the golem and its ancient predecessors is a multifaceted one, requiring insights from theology, history, engineering, and philosophy. It forces us to confront our own biases about what was truly possible in the distant past, and to recognize the ingenuity that thrived long before the modern scientific age. We must ask, how much of what we call myth is simply history we have forgotten or misinterpreted? Stories whispered across generations, whose true technological or philosophical underpinnings have faded into the mists of legend. The journey through the ages, exploring these forgotten pages of history, brings us face to face with an enigma that resists easy answers. We have sifted through the mystical teachings of the Kabbalah, followed the narratives of legendary rabbis like Loew, and unearthed the echoes of ancient mechanical marvels from civilizations across the globe. Yet the core questions persist, shimmering in the shadows of the past, challenging us to reconsider our assumptions about ancient intelligence and capability. Did humanity truly believe it could conjure life from clay through esoteric rites, or was it merely expressing a profound symbolic truth about creation and protection? Were the self-moving statues of Egypt and Greece simply advanced clockwork, or did their creators genuinely believe they were imbuing them with a nascent form of consciousness, an early spark of what we now call artificial intelligence? Was the golem a literal protector, a silent clay guardian stalking the streets of Prague, or the embodiment of a community's unbreakable spirit against overwhelming odds, a metaphor made manifest through desperate hope? The golem stands as a powerful testament to our unending quest to breathe life into the inanimate, a quest that continues to this very day in laboratories and research centers around the world, as we grapple with artificial intelligence and robotics. It is an echo of humanity's fundamental drive to create, to control, and to transcend the natural limits of our existence. From the first spark of tool-making to the latest advancements in AI, this drive remains constant, shaping our future just as it shaped our past. The golem, then, is not just a creature of legend, but a profound mirror reflecting our deepest aspirations and anxieties about creation itself. It challenges us to reconsider the boundaries between the real and the imagined, between magic and technology, between the stories we tell and the forgotten truths they so skillfully conceal. As we conclude this exploration into Europe's ancient magical automata, what does the enduring power of the golem legend tell us about our own timeless human desire to play creator, to craft life, and to seek control over our destiny, forever echoing humanity's great history?